Hi y'all. I was going to answer a question about C the when you're tuned to CGC, getting a chord chart for it, and I've learned a way. It's sort of like in algebra when you have a formula. Things are easier than trying to memorize a bunch of stuff. And I was going to write this all down, but I'm getting ready to go to Winston-Salem in the morning at 6 a.m. So I'm just going to go through this real quickly about how an easy way to find chords and know the chords in CGC or any other key. When we're tuned to CGC or AEA, that's a 1-5-8 tuning, meaning it's the first note of the scale, the fifth, and the octave. And so when we're tuned to CGC, that's the key of C. That's a C chord. So then all you need to know is the name of your notes on your fretboard, and it's simply a scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if you know those two things, you can make a chord and look at the shape of it and be able to figure out what the name of the chord is without having to go dig out a bunch of papers. So it's really quite simple. This is C. When you bar on one, it's D, because it's the name of the outer two notes, C, D, E, F. So we have C major, then we have D minor, E minor, F, G, A, B diminished, and C major. So every scale has 3 majors, 3 minors, and a diminished chord. Okay, these are incomplete chords because they're the first note of the scale, the fifth note of the scale, and the octave of the scale. So 2 of the notes are the same. So we have only have 2 notes. We don't have 3. And what's missing is the third. So that takes us to the next chord shape. And what we're going to do is skip one and add a third. That's all we're doing. So we're taking a D minor that doesn't have a third and adding a D minor that does. And makes it a complete E minor chord. Incomplete D minor chord, complete D minor chord. And if you take it to the other side, since they're the same notes, you have the same thing. So we have D minor, D minor, D minor. And then what comes after D? E, E minor, E minor, E minor. Always skipping one in between. And this makes the shape of your hand, and I call it a C shape because I keep my hand up on my fingertips. Some people lay their fingers down and they call it an L shape, but it's the same thing. But what it's doing is you've played the bar, and that's your main chord, and then you've added a third. So whatever the bar is, then by adding the third, you've got the same thing. Now, I don't do like a 4-2-2 and leave my finger up in the air, because you might as well make a bar and add a 4, because music moves mostly in thirds, and it's going to probably go back there anyway. And whatever's ahead of it's going to sound, so it's not sounding anyway, so there's just no need to do a bunch of rocking back and forth. Okay, so we have open is C major. 1 is D minor. 1 plus 3 is D minor. 2 is E minor. Plus 4 is E minor. Bar 3, C shape. So C, D, E, F, G, A minor, B, C. D minor, E minor, F sharp minor, F, G, A, B diminished, and C. So, if you think about it, and I was a music major, and this was a really confounding instrument to me, and everybody kept telling me all kinds of stuff that made it seem really, really hard. When it all came out of the wash at the end of 7 years, it came back to the fact that you have 8 notes. You have 8 notes. You have no black keys on the piano. C to C on the piano. And just like on the piano, if you play 1, 3, 5 as a chord, 1, 4, 6 as a chord, there's shapes that your hand makes playing the chords on the piano. You can sit there till the cows come home and you're not going to find a whole bunch of different chords in those 8 notes. There's only X amount of ways that you can take 8 notes and make harmonies. That's what the fingerings do on the piano. And the same goes with the dulcimer. There's a set of fingerings that gives you all of the possible combinations for your main chords. Now there are a few kind of odd chords, blues chords and jazz chords that don't follow this, but to play most every hymn in the hymn book, all you need is these 5 chords. And so we've learned the first 2 already, and they're the same name. So if you've learned the D minor here and you put the 3rd down, you've also learned the D minor. They're the same name. The next shape, the next 2 shapes have the same name also. They're the slant chord. Now, when you're tuned to D-A-D, this is an A7. This is the only one right here that does not, certain finger does not tell you the name of the chord. That if you go on up, this is a B7, then when you go on up, the middle finger is going to tell you the name of the chord on most of your slants. The slants, when the numbers go across the fretboard, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2. And I call my numbers from the melody because to me, the melody is what's important. The bass doesn't mean anything. So when I move chord shapes and melody numbers. That's what I think of. So if we come up to the middle string, if we're playing a 2, 3, 4, and we find out what the middle note is. So if we're tuned to C, G, C, we start with G. We go G is open, A, B, C. Then we put down 2, 3, 4, we have a C chord. We put down 4, 3, 2, we have a C chord. This is a slant chord when the numbers go across the fretboard going up, 2, 3, 4. This is a reverse slant when the numbers go down, 4, 3, 2, from the melody side. Up from the melody side, slant, reverse slants down from the melody side. But whichever slant you're doing is going to be the same name. So we figured out this is a C. So if we move our middle finger to the right one, we've got a D minor. If we move it to the right again, we've got E minor. If we move it to the right again, we have an F. If we move it to the right again, we have G. If we move it to the right again, we have A minor. If we move it to the right again. So it just keeps right on going up. So what have we learned here? We've learned that if you know the names of these notes, the bar is the same as the outer 2 notes, the same name. And if you add a 3rd, it's still the same name. The slants from 3 up, or the middle string tells you the name of the note. And it doesn't matter which way the slants are going. Okay, so if we're at 4, 3, 2 slant, and we slide these bottom 2 fingers to the left, that gives us the last. There's five major chord shapes. This is the last one. So this is what we call a stretch. Some people call it an extended slant. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's still the same thing. And the melody string on this one tells you the name. I'll say the finger farthest up the fretboard is the one that tells you the name of the note, because you could play it over here. You could play a reverse one, or you could play it this way. So if we're in C, C, D, E, F, G. So when we play 4, 2, 1, we're playing G. A. I'm sorry. C, D, E, F, G. Yeah. G, A minor. B. If we come on back up here, we're on C. The only other 2 that are incidentals, there's 2 7th chords that work kind of in every scale. And I call it a little M shape. This is just a kind of a thing we use sometimes, not very often. I don't consider it one of the chord. It's one of the chord shapes, but it's not one of the major chord shapes. But see how your hand makes a M or a W if you're looking down at it. But it would be like 4 on the melody, 2, 3. Now if you make that here, it doesn't sound very good. There's only 2 that are really compatible in every scale, and they're in the same place every time. They'll be on the 4th fret, and the name of the 4th fret tells you the name of the 7. So we have C, D, E, F, G. So we have a G7, and the other one is at the octave C7. Now you can make them other places. This one's tolerable, but not very pretty. So that's really all there is. There are a few jazz chords and partial chords, and there's chord shape like a 2, 2, 3, and all that is a half of a slant. It's half of a 2, 3, 4 and half of a 4, 3, 2. So the middle finger's still going to tell you the name of the note. If you're playing 4, 4, 3, middle finger's going to tell you the name of the chord. C, D, E, F. This is an F chord. This is an F chord. So now you can take this and you can do the same thing in D. If we're in D, this would be E. E, D, open would be D major, E, F sharp minor, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A, B minor, C sharp diminished, and D. If you're in A, it's the same thing. Open would, if you're in A, E, A, then your open would be A. This would be B minor, C minor, D, E, F. So it doesn't matter what you're tuned to. The only thing that matters is that like in D, when we do D, the key of D has 2 sharps. So when I get to F, it's going to be F sharp. If I'm in C, there's no sharps, so it would be C. It would be just a F if I was playing F and C. So all of the sharps and flats will apply as far as what you call them, but the letter name will be the same. If you're in D, it's D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. If you're in C, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D is D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. A is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now, you can take the other thing that gets really confusing is how to play in other keys. So say somebody at church wants to sing in F or E flat, let's say E flat. And so everybody scrambles around trying to find E flat chords, B flat chords, all that. You're not going to find them in D, you're not going to find them in C. You just need to tune to E flat, B flat, E flat, and then you have them. If you want to play in C, tune to C. If you want to play in A, tune to A. Tune in the 1, 3, 1, 5, 8 tuning. Now I can sit down and play everything in the hymn book on this Dulcimer without changing the tuning, but it's going to, every song in it will be what tuning I have. And it doesn't matter what key they're written in the book, you just transpose it. So this just makes it like algebra, like you have some way of identifying something without having to pull out chord charts for everything. I hope this was helpful. Sorry it was such a rush. And I'm headed to Winston-Salem, and for you people that are going to be there, I look very forward to teaching you a class. And I'll be back again soon with something new. Okay, thanks. Night. Bye.